So my first YouTube goal is I will grow my YouTube channel to 20,000 subscribers. Yeah, 20,000, you heard that right. I initially wanted to write down 10,000, and when I was writing 10,000, I'm like, no, I need to double that. I need to vibrate up in that frequency of 20,000. And I don't know how it's gonna happen, but that is what I want. I actually have a bit of an update / sneak peek because you have made it this far, you deserve it. Just today, Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Raisa, and if you're not, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are talking all about my 2024 personal and financial goals. I wrote these goals in the beginning of January and I cannot wait to share them with you. Okay, I have got my agenda here. This is where I write all of my goals. I find that having your goals written down somewhere as opposed to it just being typed up in a Notion or your notes app feels like really tangible, and I don't know, there's just something about writing down your goals that feels really good. So I want to caveat, and I always do this in every single goals video, but this is for anyone who is new to my channel. The way that I like to write my goals is I have a structure. So the very first part will always say, I will. This just feels really affirmative. I am going to do this, instead of like, I want to read 25 books. It's I will read 25 books. And then at the very end of the goal will also be a sort of time frame. I feel like having a time frame keeps you accountable as well. So all of these will have a sort of time frame or a frequency or cadence if it's kind of an ongoing goal. So that is how I like to write my goals. I learned this as a tactic in goal setting, and it has helped me so much. It's the way that I write all of my goals ever since I learned it back in 2020. So I hope that that helps you guys. Let me know some of the goals that you have as well in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. Okay, I have my goals kind of split up in different sections. So we can talk about personal health and wellness goals, finances, YouTube goals, as well as my goals for The Line, which is my small business. So we can start off with my personal goals. So goal number 1 is a goal that I have set for the last couple years now. I fell in love with reading books. I want to say back in 2020 or whenever I got my Kindle. So I always have a goal of reading books. So this year I said I will read 25 books in 2024. So I initially had 50 books back in 2023 and I was nowhere near 50 books. So I think I kind of overshot in 2023. And this year I just want to do something that is actually achievable and realistic. So to me, 25 books feels like a realistic goal. The next personal goal that I have this year is I will visit Spain in summer 2024. So last year, my partner and I went to Paris, and this was kind of like our big vacation for the year. And this year I want to plan a Spain trip because I haven't been to Spain and I've heard just amazing things about it. So this is something that I am actively saving up for, and I'm so excited to go to Spain. If you have any kind of recommendations for Spain, please leave them in the comments down below. I haven't really started planning yet, so any recommendations will be so helpful. And I think we're gonna try to do this closer to my birthday, so end of May, early June. But again, I haven't booked any flights, so we will see about that. The next goal that I have for personal is I will continue to invest in myself through books, courses, and self-development. I think a lot of this can kind of be attached to like my book goal. So I like to read a lot of nonfiction books. Actually, less read, more listen. So I like to listen to audiobooks for nonfiction, and I like to do my Kindle for fiction books. That's just kind of how I personally like to intake the information. This goal is really here just to remind myself that like spending money on courses or anything that like has to do with self-development is worth it always. So when I think of books or my Audible subscription being $17, yes, that's money coming out every single month. Yes, that's a subscription, but it's also so worth it because the information that I gain from these books is something that I'll always take with me. So there's just more value for me as well. So I just kind of want to remind myself that anytime there's a course I want to take or anything like that, to not kind of cheap out on it or not take it because it costs money. And then the last personal goal I have is I will continue my monthly therapy sessions. I have been doing therapy for the last couple years now, and it has helped me so much. in terms of my relationship, in terms of how I process different situations, anything to do with work and my business. It just helps me have a third party person who doesn't really know anything else going on in my life. I have a different type of relationship with my therapist versus, let's say, my partner or a friend. So I think that they can provide a like objective point of view on a certain situation. So I have been doing monthly therapy sessions over the last couple years, and I just want to continue doing that in 2024. Okay, moving into my health and wellness goals. So the first goal that I have is I will move my body 3 times a week, whether that is a yoga class or running or even just going for a walk. I treat these types of movement as kind of like a moving meditation. So when I'm at yoga, my mind is clear and I'm not like really thinking of anything. I'm just in that present moment. And that's the same with running as well. I'm able to kind of like clear my mind. The next goal that I have, which is tied to the first one, is I will go to yoga twice a week. After doing my yoga teacher training, I just fell in love with yoga that much more, and I just want to continue that relationship going. And then the last goal I have for health and wellness is I will continue to run. And this again is tied to the first goal. So I started running kind of for fun last year. I know that there are many competitions and marathons and all of that out there, and I just took up running last year and not really tying it to I'm gonna hit a 10K this year. I mean, I kind of thought of that for sure, but I mostly focused on running rather than the goal itself. And again, it's because it allows me to be in that present moment and to kind of clear my mind. So really, like, my goal in health and wellness is just to better myself physically as well as mentally. So that's kind of why I have these hand in hand. Third section I want to talk about is finances, which I feel like most of you are going to be the most interested in. Goal number 1 is I will grow my emergency fund to $15,000 by the end of December 31st, 2023. And if you were here last year, you know kind of the situation with my emergency fund. I built up my emergency fund, I think, to like 12K or something like that. And I had a goal last year of bringing it up to 20,000, and I've had to dip into that emergency fund quite a bit in 2023. So this year it is still at around like 12,000. I just want to build that up to 15,000. Again, like making more realistic goals rather than these like out of this world goals that might not be achievable. So to me, 15,000 is achievable, especially with my consistency in putting down $100 every single paycheck. I feel like I'll get there. The next financial goal that I have is I will invest $300 bi-weekly into the stock market. Again, if you have been following along, you know that this is something that I already do on a consistent basis. Last year I put down $200, and this year I just bumped that up to $300. I'm adding a little bit more money into my investments for this year because I've filled up my emergency fund to a place where I feel really comfortable, and I just kind of want to double down on my stocks and my ETFs. In terms of finances, those are really my 2 big goals. I know that I already kind of do those things, and it's not anything too crazy. I know in the previous years I've done a salary goal, and I think that this year I'm not going to do that. Not because I don't want to increase my salary. Of course, who doesn't want to increase their salary? I learned last year that there is just so much that isn't in my control in terms of my salary. And obviously there are things that are within my control, but there's also things like the company budget or the economic landscape just with the layoffs happening. And I just want to avoid reflecting back on these goals and thinking, oh, I didn't achieve that goal, and feeling really bad about myself. But actually, it's not because I did a bad job. It's actually because of all these other factors. So that's kind of my point of view on setting a salary goal. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention was my net worth. So obviously, if you have been following along, you know that I recently bought a condo at the end of 2023, and that just like bolstered all of my savings, and I'm really trying to rebuild that right now. So I don't have a sort of net worth goal. Obviously, I'm trying to build my net worth with all these other things that I'm doing, but I don't have a net worth goal at this time. I know where I'm at right now in terms of my net worth. I think it's just a little bit under 150K, and my goal is to increase that, but I don't have a specific number attached to it. I feel like I'm in this really weird part in my life where I'm building and I'm trying to grow. I don't know, it's not like super defined, and maybe it's just me. I like in my mind. I really like check boxes. I really like definitive things. And I feel like my life right now, or this chapter that I'm in, I'm not really there, which you will kind of see in the next section in this video when it comes to my finances for my business. So yeah, I don't know. I only have two really definitive finance goals, which is investing in the stock market as well as building up my emergency fund again. And I feel really good about that. So yeah, those are my finance goals. This does not include my finance goals for my small business, which I will touch on at the end of the video. Okay, moving into YouTube. This is a new section for me because obviously in the beginning of last year, I did not have a YouTube channel. My 1 year doing YouTube is coming up and I will be doing a video on that, but I'm really excited to be including this new section in my goals because I find that I've just had such a great time doing this creative outlet for me, and to actually set some tangible goals is very, very exciting. So my first YouTube goal is I will grow my YouTube channel to 20,000 subscribers by December 31st, 2024. Yeah, 20,000, you heard that right. That is an insane amount of people, given that right now I think I'm only at like 2,500. That's really crazy. When I wrote that number, I was like, whoa, who do I think I am? Anyway, I wanted to stretch myself. I initially wanted to write down 10,000. And when I was writing 10,000, I'm like, no, I need to double that. I need to vibrate up in that frequency of 20,000. I want to send the energy and the vibrations that I want 20,000 subscribers. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but that is what I want. So really that's the main goal. And how to achieve that is having at least one video go live every single week. I'm still trying to decide whether I post on Saturdays or Sundays. I'm trying to look at my analytics, and it seems like Sundays is when most people are going to be online, but for some reason I like to post on Saturdays. You guys tell me, does it even really matter? I've been told that you should be consistent with your uploads, so I like to post Saturday or Sunday morning, but you guys let me know if you have a point of view on that. But I am going to try to post at least one video per week. The next is I will make content that I love and that I'm passionate about. If you guys have noticed on my channel that I have been doing a lot of money videos, and I've also sprinkled in some of my like luxury goods type of videos, whether it's an unboxing or a handbag review. I really like these two topics, and to someone who might not be familiar with me and my channel, they're probably like, what? Like saving money and buying luxurious handbags, like that doesn't make sense to me. And that's okay, because I'm not for everyone. To me, it makes sense. And I really hope that it's resonating with you guys. And if it's not, please give me feedback down below. That's kind of the two things that I really like to talk about on camera. I also like to talk about my small business. You won't hear me shut up about my business if you ask me. I've done some videos around that, but I haven't really kind of delve deep into it. So if you guys want more small business videos and how I run my business and do YouTube and do a 9-to-5, let me know down below, and I'd be happy to film the behind the scenes of a small business owner. The last two things that is related to my main YouTube goal is I will get at least one brand deal per quarter. I initially had one brand deal per year, but I want to stretch myself to one brand deal per quarter. And I have been reached out by many brands, and I've said no to all of them because I want the first ever brand deal on my channel to be something that is so authentic. It's a product that I actually love and feel really good and confident sharing with you guys, because I don't just want to promote anything that isn't really something that I use just to get a paycheck. I don't want to do that. I don't need the extra paycheck. I just want to create a community of like-minded people who trust me and what I say. And yeah, I guess that is the last thing, is I will focus on building community, not virality. So I don't need to be this really famous person. Like, that's not the goal here. The goal here is to share with you guys my life and the things that I do and the things that excite me. And I'd rather build a community than go super viral for some random video. So yeah, those are all of my YouTube goals and just my thoughts around my YouTube channel for 2024. And lastly, we are ending this video with my small business goals. If you're not familiar, I am the founder of The Line, which is a stationery company based out here in Vancouver. I started this small business back in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, when I had all this time in the world, and I was kind of thinking about starting my own business, but I wasn't sure what it would be about. And having been been in the e-commerce industry for the better part of a decade, I knew that it would have to be something within Shopify or an e-commerce platform. And during that time, I was really into stationery, and I knew that I could do something with it, and it's blossomed into this beautiful thing over the last couple years, and I've just learned so much. And yeah, I won't shut up about my small business like I mentioned, but if you guys want a whole story time around the line, I'd be happy to make that video for you. But I just kind of want to outline a few goals for my business, because my business is my baby and I want to continue growing my small business in 2024. So the first goal is I will grow my business to more than 100K in revenue in 2024. I did have this goal in 2023, but I fell short. So I think I ended up with $86,000 in revenue, which that's not profit, but in revenue, I hit 86,000, which is incredible, because that is the most amount of money I have ever generated in revenue for my small business. Over the last 3 years, I think I hit 15,000 my first year, then 50,000 in my second year, and my third year is 86,000. So there's definitely a trend in growth, but last year I just fell short of 100K, and this year I want to hit that number or maybe even more. And there's a few tactics that I want to do to actually get me there this year. So the first one is I will outsource my email and social media marketing. I've actually already started doing this. I started doing this month in January. I found an agency who is aligned and just really understands me and my business. So I'm feeling really confident about outsourcing my email and social media marketing, because that'll free up my time to be able to do other things within my business. And I think that having that outsource will unlock so many things for me and just allow me to show up as a really cohesive brand. So I'm really excited to see where this takes me for this year. The second tactic is I will continue intentionally doing sponsorships with like-minded creators and YouTubers. Some of you might know, but I do sponsor some of Zoe's videos. She is such a lovely human, and I feel like her brand and her vibe, we're just really like-minded, and we have just worked so well over the last year or so because of that. And I just want to continue to find other creators who have kind of that same like-mindedness as me, because that is what will move the needle for me, as opposed to just sending PR to random influencers who aren't really going to use my products. So that is the goal for this year, is just having more intentional partnerships. The third one is, and I feel really iffy about this because I'm really not good at TikTok, but I said I will grow my TikTok this year. And I don't know, I feel like I've tried TikTok before and I do watch TikToks, but it's just not a forum or platform that I feel like I could excel in. I just don't love the short form content part of it, and I'm more of like a YouTube long form person, obviously. So that is on the list, but we will see. The next goal that I have is I will launch a new course or an ebook by September 2024. This is like not even in any phase yet, maybe in discovery phase, but I do want to do an ebook of some sort, potentially by the end of September. And then the last goal that I have is I will reinvest all of my profit back into my business and take the line to maturity phase. So I have been reading so many books around how to scale your business and reinvesting the profits back, which I have been doing. I haven't been taking a paycheck out of the Lines account ever since it started, and I just want to continue to reinvest back into my business, whatever that looks like. I actually have a bit of an update / sneak peek, because you have made it this far, you deserve it. Just today, I sent an email to a lease administrator to lease out an office / studio space for the Line. It has been something that I've been dreaming about ever since I started. Wouldn't it be cool if I had my own office space or studio space? And I think that 3 and a bit years in, I'm ready. I currently do all of my work out of my 1-bedroom apartment here in Vancouver, BC, which is just crazy. I feel like I've really made use of the space that I have, and it allowed me to grow without really spending too much money. But now that I know that my business can be successful, I want to invest the money into potentially leasing out an office space. So yeah, I've just sent that email out. I did tour a couple of places last week, and there was one that I fell in love with. So I am really excited, and I just want to document for you guys all of the steps and behind the scenes of creating this beautiful office space and bringing it to life. So stay tuned for that because I will likely do some videos around that. So yeah, that is my big exciting update. I am really looking forward to that. I feel like having an office space or studio space will unlock so many things for my brand and will help me hit 100K in revenue for 2024, or maybe even more, who knows. That is it. Those are all of my 2024 goals. I know that I have so many sections in my life and it just really helps me outline them all in this way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what your 2024 goals are. I would love to read them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really supports the channel. And if you haven't already, please make sure you are subscribed. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye, you guys.